another episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a show made by 12s from around the world, for 12s around the world. I'm Mosette, and here is your host and my dad, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, thank you, Mosette. I am Moses, and welcome everyone to episode 804, the June 2020 edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show, as our Seahawks get ready to take on, I don't know, I guess the offseason? Who knows? So please keep your hands inside the moving vehicle at all times. Put your tray table up and your seat back into the full upright position. Grab a desired beverage or sit of your choice. And just so you know, we are like June. We are busting out all over, so be careful where you step. We have an action-packed full show. It's been a while. We're glad to be back for this show. First, I introduce you to the posse, of course, the triumphant return of my partner in crime, the yin to my yang. Please welcome back from across the big pond, Matt from merry old England. Hi, Matt.
Good morning, Moses. How are you?
I am spectacular. How are you, my friend?
Well, I'm really pleased to be back. I've been off the radar for since March, really, dealing with all this COVID nonsense. So it's just nice to be able to do something normal.
Well, we're glad you're back, and we'll try to be as normal as possible, which is kind of a stretch for this group.
Yes, is Dustin not coming tonight then?
Well, speaking of normal, there is the only normal person on this posse. That's the news hound, Shadowhawk Will. Hi, Will.
Hi, Moses. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing okay. I don't know if I would go with the word normal, but maybe by comparison.
Normal. You are the new normal, apparently. Someone who's always been
Heaven help us all.
Heaven help us all. Someone who is the new normal is Dustin. Hi, Dustin.
Hey, how's it going?
Wonderful. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Got a quick, kind of funny Father's Day story for you guys, if you like.
Please.
Yeah, so we had a deck installed in our backyard last fall, and we finally got around to staining it. My wife decided she wants to put bamboo and planters out back, right, for privacy. Well, fast forward rewind at this point to the weekend before Father's Day. We go out, we buy, I think it was 10 things of potted bamboo, and so for Father's Day, she decided she was going to get me a miter saw so that we could build her planters for her. Now, come to find out, she didn't really buy it for me, per se, because she wouldn't let me do the measuring or cutting or any of that. She wanted to build them herself, so she basically bought herself a miter saw for Father's Day.
Brilliant. The perfect gift for yourself. That's
exactly.
Amazing. Well, it's funny you mention that because I happen to have a pretty funny Father's Day story myself. I live in Indiana, and I went over to the in-laws for Father's Day, and my brother-in-law sat down across from me, and the first thing he says to me is, "Well, you're famous." And I said, "Me?" And I'm looking around like, who the hell's he talking to? And I'm like, "Are you talking to me?" I mean, I'm like, De Niro in Taxi Driver. Are you talking to me? He's like, "Yeah, I'm talking to you." I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Well," he said, "I work at this Chewy.com manufacturing plant here in Indiana. And there are about 6 or 7 Seahawk fans in there. When I told them you did a 12-man fan jam show, they all went, 'Oh my God, we love that show.'" So I said,
awesome.
You, my friend, have got to introduce us. So he is in the process again. So if you're out there and you work for the Chewy.com factory in Indiana, just shout out to you, my friends. We will be getting together sometime soon to watch some Seahawk football. There's no doubt in my mind. So I thought that just blew me. The rest of the time, I'm just in a crazy haze going, I can't believe people in Indiana actually listen to this. And they said they liked it. And when he said, they go, "Oh yeah, we know that." So shout out to those guys. And while we're shouting out real quick, shout out to all of you out there that are listening to this show. It's been a crazy few months for all of us. And we're going to try to make things light and happy on this show. We're not going to talk about as much as we can avoid it. We're going to try to avoid the gloom and doom of what's going on right now across the country and across the world. And we're going to try to give you an outlet for the next hour or so where we can be goofy 12s. As some of us say, we are 12s. We act that way sometimes on this show. And so hopefully for the next few minutes you're with us, we can erase some of that and just let you have a good time and have some sense of normalcy when you hear a bunch of immature Seahawk fans laugh at 12-year-old jokes, which is what we do on this show. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show. It's our 178th episode, by the way. and we will keep doing this until we get it right. Gentlemen, let's get to the show, shall we? Fat Tony?
Very well. Let's do this thing.
All right, let's indeed go. This show is run like a real NFL football game. 4 quarters and even a halftime. Quarter 1, of course, as well with the NFL news. Quarter 2, we'll talk about some Seahawk news that maybe we've missed since we last done a show. That doesn't, wow. I teach English, folks. Halftime, it is the best Seahawk-themed trivia game on the internet. I refer to, of course, 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia.
Of the world.
Of the world. And who was our winner last time? 803. Does anybody remember?
It
Wasn't it Dustin? Was it you?
a while ago.
Yeah.
No, it was the post-draft one. I won that one.
Oh, that was you.
So,
That's right. That's right. All right. So Will's defending his title tonight in halftime trivia.
Short-lived, no doubt, but
Well, we'll
take
see.
what I can get.
That could be long-lived. Quarter 3 is going to be an edition of Yay or Nay, involving some things Pete Carroll said at a press conference. We're going to talk about what he said, whether we agree with it or not. And fourth quarter, we're going to talk about Jadeveon Clowney. Why not? Where is he? Where is he gone? Why won't he sign? Well, if you're wondering those questions, look no further, because the 12-Man Fan Jam Show has the answers of where Clowney is and why he hasn't signed with anybody yet. So stay tuned to the fourth quarter. You're not going to want to miss that. But before we start, of course, we'd like to remind you to like, share, subscribe to Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel. Join our Facebook group, 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Also, we're on Twitter at Seahawk Positivity. Email 12manfanjamshow@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts. And look for this podcast and download it and past episodes off Podbean and iTunes. Take them with you wherever you go. If you need a break from the world and you need someone acting silly and talking Seahawk football, this is you need look no further than this silly little show. All right. Let's get to the first quarter and news. Yes, news from around the NFL with our news hound, Will. It's a 12-Man Fan Jam Show news report brought to you by this week's sponsor, the Antonio Brown game. Sign him up and roll the dice. Will he get along? Will he plunge your locker room into chaos? Will he cuss out your most popular player and demand an old football helmet? Who knows? Roll the dice and take a chance? Well, that's up to you. It's nerve-wracking. It's life with instability. It's the Antonio Brown game. Will, what you got for us?
I'm still blown away by the fact that we have listeners. I mean, that's
right? In Indiana,
wow.
of all places. Why?
Yeah. see if they can get me a discount on cat food, will you?
I'll see what I can do for you. And if you're listening, Chewy.com, yeah, we want some cat food for. And also, hey, I forgot Kona, our 12-Man Fan Jam Show mascot, the dog of Dustin, a wonderfully trained and well-educated and disciplined dog of Dustin's. We need dog food and cat food. So hook us up. All right.
He actually defended the house the other day.
Oh, that's right, he did. Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, wait. I'm sorry, Will. You gotta tell this story.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, I mean, not for the person, but so we had this person that accidentally walked into our house. They didn't know that this was not the correct house for them to walk into. They thought it was their buddy's house. So me and my wife and kids are on one side of the house talking, and the front door opens. Somebody walks in. Kona was getting a drink of water. She looks up, instantly ran over, bit the person, and threw him out of the house. We didn't know anything happened. And then about 10 minutes later, we get a knock on our door, and I go and I answer, and the person's like, "Hey, I see you have the cameras up there. I just want you to know I walked in your house on accident, thinking it was my friend's house, and the dog made sure I didn't stay."
And the bad news was it was Tom Brady.
It was pretty funny. We go and we look on the camera, and sure enough, you see the person walk in the house, and you hear some snarling and barking, and then the person running out and closing the door and like shaking their arm.
Poor. Did they get hurt bad?
Nobody was hurt.
Oh, good.
Kona did enough to get the person out of the house, though, which is awesome because you never know how your dog's going to react until they actually do. So,
way to go, Kona! Kona's a hero.
Yeah, she just ran back over. You see on our other camera, she just ran back over, all proud of herself,
awesome.
And started getting attention. Yeah, she did great.
Hey, Will, your cat ever do that for you?
Yeah, no.
All right, Will, I'm sorry. You may proceed.
Oh, I thank you. Well, Moses, as you have alluded to a couple times already, it's kind of a brave new world, and the NFL and teams are trying to adjust accordingly. NFL owners actually approved a plan on Thursday to cover the rows of seats closest to playing field in NFL stadiums with tarps.
Yikes.
And one team is already trying to work with people who may have season tickets for those rows, because understandably they might take issue with that. To quote New Orleans Saints Vice President of Communications Greg Bensel, "We are already in the process of working with and reaching out to our season ticket holders, making it a priority to accommodate and relocate them. We will also offer them a number of options for the 2020 season, including a refund or credit, and it will not impact their season ticket holder status moving forward." Additionally, a couple of other teams, including, I believe, the Patriots, have already reached out to season ticket holders offering refunds or credits with while keeping their season ticket seniority intact if for some reason they can't attend or don't feel safe attending games this fall. So, so far, it looks like teams are doing the right thing as far as taking care of their fans, and we'll just have to see what exactly shakes out as a result.
Well, as you know, we know some people down in those. We know quite a lot of people that are being affected by this in Seattle. And I know I've seen, people upset. Understandably, yes, I understand. I'd be upset too, but I don't know how I'd feel. I'm not a season ticket holder, so I can't really speak for anybody. But I guess, if you can, I think I would opt for the just put it on next year's tab and call it a year. Is I think what I would do. I don't know about the rest of you. Any of you think this is kind of a garbage move by the NFL, or?
No, I think it makes perfect sense. I mean, in the UK, we've got Premier Football, soccer, or whatever, and they've been playing games in front of cardboard cutouts.
Yeah.
And which, what they could do over there, and of course that would be an instant boost for Jacksonville. They'd be louder than their usual stadium. But no, I mean, it sounds like a good idea. As long as they're doing the right thing and by saying, I think everyone should understand why they're having to do it. And as long as they're doing the right thing by saying, look, as the ticket holders, it's sort of up to you. What do you want, rather than trying to force, a particular solution onto people. It sounds like they're doing a good thing to me.
That's a great idea.
Matt, did you see the one Korean baseball team that put stuffed animals in all the seats?
Yeah,
that was amazing. They had stuffed animals in every seat. I said if they ever hit one, like hit a home run or a foul ball, and it hit a stuffed animal, they should be able to take that home. I think
like a fair prize.
Prize like at a fair.
Yeah.
But over here in the UK, there was one apparently, and this could be fake news. I'm not 100% on it, but over in the football stadium, they had or a soccer stadium, the fans were able to sort of donate money and have like cardboard cutouts of themselves being in.
Oh, that's cool. Actual people.
Which went fine until somebody decided to submit a picture of Osama bin Laden. Nobody checked. So there he was in the middle of a football crowd.
There's one in every crowd.
There's always one.
Well, we'll see how this all shakes out. I mean, NFL's like the rest of us. They've never been through this before, so they're trying to figure out what to do. So
I think it's a good plan. It's going to be funny to see what sponsors end up on those rows.
Yeah,
be like
definitely.
Pornhub or something.
Well, I think that'd be row 69.
They're going to sell ad space on those things, and that's that's actually a good thing, because it'll help them offset revenue if they can't have fans in the stands or limited numbers. It's like at least they can sell advertising, make up some of the money that way. So
that's a good point. Will, what else you got for us?
Well, Moses, one thing that has not changed is teams and coaches worrying about what their players do in the offseason. And members of the Baltimore Ravens had some bricks in their shorts a couple weeks ago when video surfaced on social media of NFL most valuable player Lamar Jackson taking a bit of a tumble. He was playing football on the beach when he collided with a parked jet ski and fell headfirst into the water.
Oh!
Jackson, thankfully, was not injured, and he was the one who posted the video on Instagram. It starts with him faking someone off his feet, running untouched across the beach toward the water, tried to slow down, and failed miserably before running into the jet ski. So,
wow.
Players
that's an athlete right there.
Players have gotten hurt in the offseason before. I mean, we don't even have to bring up Malik McDowell.
Oh my God.
You also have Robert Edwards, the
yeah.
running back for the Patriots in the
Yes.
80s, who blew out his knee playing a beach football game at the Pro Bowl.
1,000-yard rusher, too, and probably would have been a running back for years for the Patriots. Like, they needed that. But
Yep.
yeah.
So, teams have their fingers crossed this time of year, especially now when they can't come to the team facilities. So,
Hey,
let's just hope everybody
didn't
stays
Edwards
happy
do
and
that in
healthy.
front of Sean Springs? Am I right? Was Sean Springs part of that? I mean,
I'm
not
pretty sure,
intentionally,
yeah.
but like, was Sean like covering him out of the backfield or something?
I don't know if he was covering him on that play, but I'm pretty sure he was part of that game.
He was part of that game in some way, yeah. I mean, listen, Edwards did it on his own. He cut and he did it on his own. But I want to say that either Sean Springs was covering him or he was at least involved in the game. Yeah, it was one of those, young player game things on the sand. Yeah, never do that
I wonder if
again.
he pulled a Sharpie out of his sock and signed it afterwards.
No!
Yeah, he signed his brace.
Yeah, no
Sean
trouble.
Springs was also involved in that play, guys.
Well, it's ironic if
Yes,
Sean
we
Springs was there if it wasn't played in Egypt, which, if you remember his comment when he left Seattle, he said, it's like being in Egypt. So
Well, I remember telling you last year, Dennis, at the Ravens game that Jackson was going to have to learn how to slide at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, he was going to get hurt. Well, they
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
So just
We
did.
didn't think it was on the sand, but yeah.
So next time we play Baltimore, we got to haul out some jet skis.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Or put some signs.
Fans are going to have pictures of jet skis all over the place whenever he's in town.
They're going to have to. Well, now. I
Is
mean,
that gonna be the
anything that
audible
you can
call for
get
jet
on a
sweep?
player.
Is that going to be the new audible call for the jet sweep? Like, jet ski, jet ski.
Seriously,
It could be.
Sea-Doo does not reach out to Jackson about a sponsorship. They're just letting the grass grow underneath their feet.
Yeah, no kidding.
Work with this here.
Well, thank you, Will, for the news. And it's too bad about, I'm glad he's okay. But, you got to be careful, Mr. Jackson. You are kind of a big deal.
Anytime, Moses.
Before we end the first quarter, I do have something called Sweet Tweets that I want to share. Do you tweet? Are you Tweedles? Do you Tweedledums?
It's my job.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I found a couple of interesting tweets since we last got together, and I wanted to share them. And this one's NFL related, and it's from Aaron Rodgers, which I thought this is maybe one of the most brilliant tweets I've ever seen in my life. If you have a little background, if you remember, it was the Cowboys game where Dez Bryant didn't catch the ball, or he caught it and he couldn't keep it in the end zone. They changed the rule and the whole thing, and that's when I think Green Bay then played us in the championship, if I'm not mistaken. It was that year.
Yep, that was the game before a game here.
So a little background for you for this tweet. Dez Bryant apparently tested himself for COVID, and Dez Bryant tweeted out, "Got tested for COVID, negative." To which the brilliant Aaron Rodgers replied, "Wait, so I'm confused. Are you saying you didn't catch it?" Hashtag Dez dropped it. Now, I'm telling you right now, that is a brilliant tweet.
That was good. That was really good.
That was when I looked at it and I went, wait a minute, what's he? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it came to you, right? Very cerebral.
Aaron Rodgers is really sassy. I can't imagine where he gets that from.
Matt, your theory on Aaron Rodgers?
Matt, you have a theory?
I have no theories on Aaron Rodgers because obviously I could be sued.
All right.
I have no theories about Aaron Rodgers, but I'm guaranteed I'm going to see him at a Pride March one day.
In theory.
So,
in theory.
I guess in theory, on that note, we will close the first quarter.
It's the end of the first quarter, bitches.
All right, that's the end of the first quarter. Coming up in this June edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show, we're going to discuss where Jadeveon Clowney is, why he hasn't signed. But first, we're going to take a look back at some Seahawk news, and we'll do that right after this.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
That's the fact, Jack!
Holy shit, it's the second quarter.
Hey, it is the second quarter of this June episode of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show, where masks are optional. And that's because I'm in Indiana, Matt's in England, the other guys are in Washington, but they're far away from each other. So we are more than 6 feet away from each other in our own little worlds right now, coming together to do this show. In the second quarter, we're going to talk about the Seahawk news. Some things that have happened since we last got together. And the first thing, Dustin, is the Seahawks signed a 1,000-yard rusher in Carlos Hyde. What are your thoughts on signing Carlos Hyde for running back?
I think it's a good move. Last year, we thought we were in really good shape with our running backs, and then in a very short period of time, we lost almost all of them. So, bring in as many guys as you can, especially ones that have the potential to stay healthy. And he's still young enough to be an impact player, so it's a good signing for us.
Yeah, what are your thoughts there, Matt?
Well, 1,070 yards, as Dustin says. I think that's for the money. What is it? 2.5, 3 million, something like that.
Yeah.
That's a good veteran position to get to try and to bring in some more veteran experience onto the team at that point. I have to say I've always thought that he was a good running back anyway, even when he was at San Francisco. I think the problem he had was he was signed to San Francisco at a time when we were at our strongest. So I don't know. I think his maximum run against us was 120 or so yards. That's the tops. One of his best days. So I think he was a bit handicapped because of the team that he originally started on. But I always respected him as a running back. You didn't want to give him space. You didn't want to, he could easily pick up those yards on you. So no, I think it's a great move. And with injuries to Penny and Carson as well, it seems to me for how much is it? 2 million, 3 million?
I'm not
sure. I think
it
depends on incentives. I think it's like 2.5 to 4, depending on how much he hits.
Still cheap, and I still think that's worth it for a veteran.
Yeah. I really was happy when Carlos Hyde left the 49ers. Because he was a really good running back for the 49ers. And when he signed elsewhere, or they let him go, I thought, well, I'm glad he's gone because he was going to be a huge thorn in our side. Will, what are your thoughts?
Well, it doesn't just help us for this coming year, but potentially 2021 as well, because Chris Carson, his contract expires after this season. And one thing to keep in mind is with all this COVID nonsense, we're used to the salary cap going up about $10 million a year. It's likely to contract or at best stay put.
Yikes.
So we may have some trouble re-signing some guys after this season. Mm-hmm. So if Hyde does well here and we have trouble re-signing Carson, that gives us an option there too. So it helps us out for this year and potentially gives us an option for the following year.
Brilliant move all the way around. I like it too, and I think Hyde and Carson and Penny, the big if healthy thing. If those two can stay healthy, we have a quite formidable trio of running backs right there. Just those three alone would be enough to give teams headaches. So hoping that Carlos Hyde comes in and does as well as he's been doing. Hopefully we won't have to hand him the whole load due to some injuries, and that the three of them can kind of keep each other well rested and injury free during the season. And if so, we've got quite a three-headed monster at running back. So
that doesn't even count our second-year guy coming back or the rookie that we drafted either.
Exactly. So there's a lot to be excited about there, and you don't want to be caught with pulling two guys out. I loved seeing who didn't love seeing Marshawn Lynch in the Seahawk uniform again, but. The story there was we had to pull somebody, out of the public, two guys out of the public to fill out our running backs for the playoffs, which is just, that was not going to go well, no matter who they were. And even though it was great seeing Marshawn Lynch run for the Seahawks, let's be honest, I'd rather have a healthy, younger guy there that's been on the team all year than having Marshawn, come out of retirement, so to speak. As much as I appreciated that. But, good sign by Carlos Hyde. Colby Parkinson. Matt, we're going to start with you because you are a fan of tight ends.
I am.
So Colby Parkinson had a rather interesting – he hurt his foot. What are your thoughts on that? Are we cursed at tight end? What's the deal?
Just bad luck. That is just bad luck. He was, as I understand it, the surgery was very successful done in the beginning of June-ish time. We were talking about this before the show, but we're not quite sure how long he's going to be out for, whether it's 6 weeks or whether it's going to be the 12 weeks job. If it's 12 weeks, though, he's going to end up having to be put on the PUP, isn't he?
I think somewhere between 8 and 12 weeks is probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
PUP sounds likely.
Yeah, PUP sounds likely. But I think overall, though, what I would stress is the positivity behind this is that I think the tight end situation in Seattle is becoming interesting at last. We've now got some talent on the team. Obviously, we've got old man Olsen. I still have no idea how fast he's going to be able to run down the sidelines. But take 2 days probably to get to the end zone from the halfway line. Hollister, Disley, if he can stay healthy with Wilson. So I think suddenly the tight end position now becomes something to watch for a change, because normally we're so engrossed in our running game. Where obviously that was Pete's style. The idea that actually we might end up with a good tight end, core of players being able to do those quick plays, those sort of third down quick conversions, and all that sort of stuff that we don't really normally do. I'm actually quite looking forward to do it because I think it adds more interest to the offense than just a run game.
All right, Dustin, what are your thoughts on Parkinson?
I mean, it sucks that he hurt his foot, but he'll be back and he'll play, so I'm not too worried about it. I believe he had a Jones fracture, which is where it's a fracture at the base of the fifth metatarsal. I don't know if that helps any of you guys, but that's what that kind of fracture is. And if he had surgery, they probably put a plate in. Recovery time, like I said, it's probably going to be between 8 and 12 weeks, I'm sure. So, and seeing as how things are the way they are right now and how the Seahawks do things, I doubt they're going to rush him back. They'll probably milk it out to the 12 weeks.
Yeah, they probably will. Are we okay at tight end, Will, or should we panic about this? Are we good? Or
Well, we're good. I mean, it's a rookie, so there's always a question about how much he'd be able to contribute out of the gate to begin with. If he misses some coming in, hopefully all those guys can stay healthy because Matt hit it on the head. One of the things that was really hurting us towards the end of last year was not having the tight end target to go for. Mm-hmm. Nothing against Hollister. He's a good complementary piece, but we didn't have the difference maker over the middle. And I just hope Will Dissly can stay healthy because he has been such a pleasant surprise when he's been on the field, but it's just he can't stay on the field, and until he can, you can't count on him. So
that's some bad luck, I think, with him.
Yeah.
And Hollister's a little guy. Size matters at that position, especially if you're going to... We lost Fant. Fant is gone. So I imagine we're going to do a lot more 2 tight end sets, which means you need those bigger tight ends out there, not necessarily Hollister, to be blocking and helping in the run game. And also to get out there and go catch the ball, sneak out of the whatever I'm saying, sneak out and go catch a ball.
Well, that's another thing with Parkinson also, because the team was saying they were going to develop him into more of an inline tight end, which is different from what he did at college. So how quickly can he make that transition when he comes back is going to be something else to look for.
So you said it was the what was it, the Jones metatarsal, or what do you call it?
It's a Jones fracture.
A Jones fracture.
Yeah. And that is a fracture to the base of the fifth metatarsal.
I thought metatarsal was a kangaroo.
Yes, that also has a pouch.
Well, I've got the answer to how to fix the Jones fracture, if I may. If I can just...
What the hell was that?
Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage. You've never heard Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage?
I have not.
Oh, come on!
That's an Indiana thing.
Feel it! Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage! Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage! Come on!
Moses, put down the podcast. You're drunk.
Steph Curry, when they won the NBA championship one year, you can look this up. Steph Curry, the owner and the general manager, did that very dance and sang Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage. You don't watch the NBA if you don't know Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage.
No, I haven't since the Sonics left.
Since it's a Jones fracture.
I live in Seattle. We don't watch the NBA out of principle.
Nope.
Come on.
I do have a Sonics mask though that says undefeated since 2008.
There you go.
Well, I'm British and we call it netball over here, so.
Well, okay, if you've not seen it,
there,
look up Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage, and that's all you need to know. It's an old commercial. Some guy did a really bad old commercial, and he does this little dance with a chicken and a dog. I don't even want to. I don't know. Anyway, Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage. People out there, tell these guys they don't know what they're missing. All right.
That reminds me of Brett Favre doing that pants on the ground dance.
It's all very similar. Very similar to that. Now, I do have another wonderful sweet tweet to share before we go. And this is a Seahawk-themed sweet tweet. A lady who I have begged and pleaded to be on this show, Sarah Colonna, I think is how you pronounce her last name. I'm guessing, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing her name wrong. It's John Ryan's wife. She's a comedian. She's been a writer on many shows. She is brilliant on Twitter. And you could just imagine living with John Ryan, what that's like. Former Seahawk punter and now Saskatchewan Rough Rider punter. But Sarah, I'm begging you again very publicly, get in touch with us. We want you to be on the show. We want you to sit down with us and just talk Seahawk football. I know he's with the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, and we love John anyway. But sit down with us for an hour one Friday night, and let's do a show together. But anyway, I digress. Sarah tweeted this a couple days ago, which I thought was wonderful. This is what she put in her tweet. She says, "My husband's alarm just went off. Me, why did you have an alarm set? It's Sunday and also quarantine. John, time to get the beer out of the freezer." Slow clap. And I think that pretty much says it all.
Hey, he's got his priorities set.
Yep,
and I love her slow clap at the end. Like, well done. Well played, sir. And well played, ma'am. Sarah, please, I'm begging you to come on this show. Get in touch with us. 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Seahawk Positivity. I will tweet this to her so she knows that she was involved. And maybe she'll join us on a show. Who knows? But anyway, enough of that. Let's go to halftime.
Holy shit, it's halftime.
All right, we're grinding through this massive June edition of 12-Man Fan Jam Show, but it's time to take a small break and have the posse square off in another rousing rendition of 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia. And that is coming up next.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
Yes, it's halftime, and welcome to another fun-filled edition of the best play-along Seahawk-themed trivia game show on the internet. It's time for 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia. And here's your host, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, thank you, me, and welcome to another fine edition of 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia
Of the world!
The trivia game that tests the knowledge of both our posse and our listeners. Our contestants are the posse themselves, Dustin, Matt, and Will, and the rules are presented now within self-isolation.
So here's how the trivia game works. There'll be 2 rounds of questions. Each contestant answers 1 question each round. If they get it correct, they get 1 point. After 2 rounds of questions, there'll be a final trivia question worth 2 points. If there's a tie after that, then the tie players go on to a special secret overtime question where the winner becomes reigning 12-Man Fan Jam Show Trivia Champion and also gets a prize chosen especially for them. As an added bonus to those listening on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel, the questions and possible answers will be displayed on your screen so you, the viewer and listener, can play along as well. If you do, please let us know how you did on the questions. Remember, there's no Googling, no phone a friend, and please, no wagering. However, there is a lifeline. Before taping this show, my 2 charming Seahawk fan children, Mosette and Little Mo, did take the quiz as well. If the contestants want to know what the kids said, they can ask that but once and only once during the entire game show and only in the first 2 rounds. Now let's get ready to play 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia.
All right. You know how to do this. 2 rounds. You can ask the kids once per round. And final question worth 2 points. You know all this. Will is our reigning champion. 1, 2, or 3, Will?
2, please.
Will takes 2. Dustin, 1, 3?
3.
Oh, Matt.
No, 1, please.
Matt. Remember, 2 questions are kind of relevant. And
Kind of
relevant.
Moses is abandoning pretense at this point.
And the other ones are kind of, no. All right, here we go. Matt, your first question. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, we're talking about Carlos Hyde this round.
Okay.
And of course, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was a famous book. There was a song by an Australian band in 1982 called Dr. Heckle and Mr. Jive. Who performed that song? Was it In Excess? Was it Men at Work? Or was it Midnight Oil? Dr. Heckle and Mr. Jive. In Excess, Men at Work, or Midnight Oil? 1982. Dance!
I have no idea.
Huh.
I'll have to go. Well, I'll have to go to the kids on the first.
Go to the kids! All right.
Yeah.
Both of them said In Excess. None of them said Midnight Oil. None of them said Men at Work. 1982, Australia band Dr. Heckle and Mr. Jive.
I don't even think In Excess even around in 82.
I'll give you a little clue. Would you like a little clue?
Is that allowed?
I don't know if it's a clue. No, it's not a clue. They were all three around at this time, yes. Let's just say.
Oh, I'll go for In Excess then. Screw it.
You'll go with the Nexus? Screw it.
Yeah, let's do it.
You went with the Nexus. Now, Men at Work. Men at
No
Work.
idea.
I actually saw In Excess
that
and Men
sounded
at
like
Work
a
in
Men at Work
1983. So,
Wow.
my first concert. True story. Yeah. No points for you. We move on. Will.
Yes.
Will, the longest run in the NFL career of Carlos Hyde was 61 yards. What team was he playing for when he ran for 61 yards in one play? Was it the Browns, the Texans, or the 49ers? 61-yard run by Carlos Hyde. Did he do it as a Brown, as a Texan, or as a 49er?
The 49ers is a little too obvious. I find it hard to believe that the entire Browns team ever gained 61 yards when he was there. So I'm gonna go with the Texans.
He's going to go with the Texans. Little Mo went with the 49ers. Mosette went with the Browns. You went with the Texans. I'm sorry. It is the 49ers. 61-yard run for the 49ers. I'm not sure who it was against, but yeah. All right.
Probably us, because that's the way this shit works.
No kidding. Dustin.
Yeah.
How many career receiving touchdowns does Carlos Hyde have in his career? 3, 4, or 5? How many career receiving touchdowns for Carlos Hyde in his career? 3, 4, or 5?
4.
4. Little Mo said 4. Mosette said 3. You said 4. No, I'm sorry. It was 3. It was 3. So, nobody on the
We
board.
all stink here. This is.
The next topic is
so out of practice.
the next topic is Quentin Dunbar. I don't know why, other than the fact that he was in the news. Quentin Dunbar is your next topic.
Okay.
Will, 4, 5, or 6?
4.
All right. Dustin, 5 or 6?
6.
And that means Matt
I
has
have
5.
Thanks.
All right. All right. Quentin Dunbar is your topic. Will, how many career interceptions does Quentin Dunbar have in the NFL? 7, 8, or 9?
I'll ask the kids
Ask the kids.
in a socially distant manner.
Little Mo said 9. Mosette said 8. Nobody said 7. How many career interceptions for Quentin Dunbar? 9, 8, or 7? Or 7, 8, or 9, I guess.
Well, just call me nobody. I'm gonna go with 7.
Let's call you nobody. Going with 7. Oh, man. I'm sorry. 9.
Oh, well.
9 times.
You're so bad.
9 times. Matt, you're up.
Hello.
Hi. Let's try to get a point. What do you say?
Let's have a go.
Let's have a go.
Please don't be a bad college.
No, it's not.
Oh,
I actually had a college. Well, okay.
Oh Jesus.
Okay, here you go. How many career pass defenses does Quentin Dunbar have in his career? Does he have 30, 35, or 40? I don't even know what the hell makes up a pass
What
defense.
makes a pass?
Is it you knock it down? Is it what? I don't even know how in the hell you get those. But how many does he have? 30, 35, or 40?
I can't ask the kids. I'll just go 35.
You just go 35, split the difference?
Yeah, well, like exactly. I can't ask the kids. I'll go for the middle one.
Oh, Matt. You got it! Somebody got one. I feel like the lady from Ghostbusters. We got one.
Oh, James.
All right.
That's Janine.
Janine. Yes, thank you. Dustin.
Chris Hemsworth, if you want to do the sacrilegious version.
That's true.
Nobody talks about that.
Let's not do that. Dustin.
Yeah, I got my question right. It was Janine. Go ahead
Janine.
and
No.
play the bell.
Hey, there's a city in the U.S. called Dunbar.
Oh,
Dunbar is a city in what U.S. state? Indiana, Virginia, or West Virginia? Dunbar. the city. Is it Dunbar, Indiana, Dunbar, Virginia, or Dunbar, West Virginia?
You live in Indiana, so I'll say Indiana, I guess. How else would you know that?
That's where the Chewy.com manufacturer. No, I'm kidding.
I do hope the audience appreciates how much effort we put into how we decide our answers.
Oh, I like it. Well, you're in Indiana, so I'll say Indiana.
What the hell?
Well,
Okay,
if
for
it
the
helps you,
one.
Eddie, both kids said Indiana too, so I don't know. And you
Eddie.
said Indiana. No, West Virginia.
They don't know what towns are in their own state.
Mama,
Apparently not.
He
take me
doesn't teach
home.
geography.
We've been e-learning so long, I don't know if they even remember where they're at this point. So Matt has a point. Will and Dustin have 0. But do not fret, my friends. You know why? Because that's the final question. All right, final question with 2
fretting.
points. And the order will be Dustin, Will, and Matt. And here you go. I love it.
Dear.
Okay, so here's your question. It's about Quentin Dunbar. Quentin Dunbar at the University of Florida, Matt, when he was at college, he played wide receiver.
Big God, right?
So what I want to know is how many career college receptions did Quentin Dunbar have as a wide receiver at the University of Florida? Career college receptions for Quentin Dunbar at the University of Florida. And we'll start with Dustin. Dustin, how many?
What? Oh, you want me to answer that?
Yeah, it's a decimal, Dustin. Does that piss you off?
It's a decimal.
It's not a decimal. I'm just trying to piss you
Why
off.
is it a decimal? You dropped one.
Because when I say decimal, Dustin just goes ape
You only
shit.
half caught one of them.
One-handed.
How many career college receptions did Quentin Dunbar have as a wide receiver at the University of Florida?
Can we know how many years he played wide receiver?
Nope.
Man, so you can tell Matt all those people were relevant and making music, but you can't tell me how many years.
I think I set it up in the intro, and I think somebody wasn't paying attention.
Oh yeah, I guess I missed it altogether, didn't I?
I could actually feel you flipping me off through all the way from Washington to here. I can feel that finger in the air, my friend.
Well, he didn't go to the league as a wide receiver, so he couldn't have been that great. So I'll say like 72 total receptions.
72 for Dustin.
Yeah.
Will.
I don't know.
That's what I'm planning on.
91.
72-91, Matt.
I don't care.
Nobody out there does either. I don't know why they're listening. No, kidding.
I'll go 100.
Matt will go 100. All right. Well, the actual number of receptions that Quentin Dunbar had, and by the way, he did play all 4 years as a wide receiver, as I said earlier.
I don't listen to what you say.
I know.
Yeah.
The actual number of receptions, 111.
Oh,
You know what? It was a college question, but you crushed it, Matt. You crushed it.
It's a good job you didn't ask me what college you went to.
Yeah, at least it wasn't the college he
I
went to.
wasn't listening to the intro either.
He was actually undrafted coming out of college, and the Redskins, I think, were the ones that changed him. Somebody changed him. I think it was the Redskins said, let's switch you at defensive back because they noticed his technique at practice, and they said, you got pretty good technique. We could change you to defensive back. And the rest is
it
history.
worked for Richard Sherman.
Yeah. 111 receptions. So that's what we got from him. But congratulations, Matt, on winning. Order that trophy, my man.
Oh,
Not just a victory, it's a shutout.
I know, 3-0. A blowout. A June blowout. Man. All right, well, thank you, everybody. It's been another crowd-pleasing, heart-stopping, award-winning shutout edition of your 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
of the world.
of the world. We'll be back in the second half after this.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Holy shit, it's the third quarter.
Congratulations, Matt, on
Thank
winning
you.
halftime trivia. You have an acceptance speech prepared, I'm sure.
No, not yet. No, I hadn't thought about it.
Okay.
I'd like to apologise to the audience and the academy for being so dense that the only reason I won anything was because I guessed at a number in the middle. Sorry, everybody.
Well, that's okay. We are going to move on here to the third quarter of your 12-Man Fan Jam show. Hey, you! Yes, you! Praying for an NFL season. Like, share, and subscribe to the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel. Join our Facebook group. Look for us on iTunes and Podbean. Do it now before your dream of a season evaporates before your very eyes. All right. Let's move on to a special June edition of Yay or Nay. Yes! Yay or nay, where we take a topic and we say, yes, we like that, or no, or nay, we do not. Yay or nay. All right. The topic is brought to us this episode by a press conference Pete Carroll had a couple weeks ago. And I thought there were some pretty good things he brought out. Some things he brought from his press conference that we can discuss. So we will start with Will. Pete said that the Seattle Seahawks will not play as much base defense this year as they did last year. Is this a yay for you or is this a nay?
I think it's a yay. I've said before, I think despite all of his glowing reviews of Michael Kendricks last year, I think the real reason we spent so much time in base defense is that we did not have a viable option at nickelback. Mm-hmm. I think this year we have a couple of guys who can do the job. I think we've got at least a better shot at having a nickel defense this year. So I think it's great. I think it's what's going to happen.
I agree. Anybody nay on that?
I'm definitely yay. I was bitching about that all last season.
Yes, I think we all were. I was too. Matt?
Yeah, I'm the same. As far as I'm concerned, if I can sitting in a chair in England and understand and recognise what defence we're going to play, everyone else can as well. So it's about time that we had some diversity on defence. So yeah.
So there's a yay. All right, Matt, this one's yours. It's been reported by Pete Carroll that Marquise Blair could possibly play that nickel quarterback that we're talking about. Is this a good move, yay or nay?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when you say is it a good move, I think it's always difficult because players always, when you put them in different positions, it can either work or it can't work. Obviously, I mean, he could be absolutely phenomenal at it. So yeah, I mean, part of me still thinks he's a safety, but yeah, okay, why not?
Well, yay or nay with Marquise Blair at nickel?
I think it's a big yay. I've wanted Seattle to give the whole big nickel concept a try ever since the Cardinals had guys like Dayon Buchanan playing that role, just sort of the hybrid linebacker safety deal. So I like the idea of Blair going in there and hopefully hitting people.
Yeah, me too. Dustin?
Yeah, I'm a yay on this one for similar reasons to Will, and also the fact that they have a front runner, meaning they have somebody they like to play the position, because last year it didn't seem like they had anybody they liked to do it.
Yeah, so it's a yay for everybody. So it's a yay. All right.
And so it is.
Dustin.
Yep.
The next one is about Dunbar. Dunbar participated in all offseason programs. Are we concerned about what happened this offseason with Dunbar and this supposed incident that was taken away? Is this
No,
you're
I'm
not
not
worried?
at all. It sounds like it was all a bunch of crap. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm not concerned about it at all.
So being concerned, you say nay.
Yeah, being concerned is a nay. And I find it ironic that he participated in all the off-season stuff. It was like, what off-season stuff?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Well said. Matt, yay or nay? Dunbar is going to be a trouble spot for us.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, and I don't mean any disrespect, but I think the police and justice system over there is so screwed up right now that alongside having all the witnesses recant everything that they ever said or saw, at the same, I mean, before it even gets to cross-examination, I just can't see how they're ever going to get a trial pulled together anyway. So as far as I'm concerned, yeah, why not?
He's saying nay to the. I know what he's saying. I got him. It's a nay. I mean, you're saying that he will not be a problem.
I don't think it'll be a problem. I think this is clearly. I mean, I think the biggest problem he's going to have is that this is just a distraction more than anything. Mm-hmm. And clearly, as I say, the whole case seems to have fallen apart before it even got anywhere. Agreed. So I think, quite frankly, it's probably not going to make it all the way to court anyway. So he'll be fine.
Well done, Will.
I am a cautiously optimistic nay on this one.
Yeah, me too.
Largely because I can't picture somebody committing armed robbery one night and the very next morning holding a virtual press conference with Seattle
No
media
kidding.
as if nothing had happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so that more than anything
That
leads
threw
me
me
to
too.
believe that this did not happen. So
Yeah, I hope not. Dunbar, a problem?
I say thee nay.
I say thee nay. All right.
I really, really hope that when they get to the facility, some dudes are having a fake poker game when he walks in. They get scared or do some kind of prank with that.
Yeah,
laugh
we
my
shall
ass
see.
off.
you know somebody's going to do something.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Last one, real quick. I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but here it comes. I'm just going to throw this out once, and then we're moving on to the fourth quarter. But before we do, I one yay or nay. Matt, I'm going to start with you. Will we have an NFL football season this year? Yay or nay, Matt?
Oh, well, I hope so, but I'm afraid at the moment, considering the surge in virus infections over there at the moment and the way things are going, 10 states, 50% rises of cases at the moment, no seeming control over it. I think it's very, very risky. I think it's very, very up in the air. But I'll say I'm. This is the positivity channel, so I'll say yes. I'll say yes.
Yay.
But the
Dustin?
whole evidence says otherwise.
Dustin, yay or nay? Will there be an NFL season this year?
I'm gonna say yay, but I'm gonna say that I'll say yay that it's gonna start. We'll start an NFL season. Whether it finishes or not, I'm up in the air. And what an NFL season looks like in this climate, it's not going to be your traditional season, that's for sure. But I'll say yay.
All right, Will, your thoughts?
I say yay, there will be an NFL season. I say nay, that no fans will be able to attend games this year, which bright side means my tickets for 2021 are already paid for.
That's a good point. So we all are very cautiously optimistic that there will be a season. So hopefully it will be. We will see. Let's go ahead and let's call this a third quarter and go to the final quarter.
It's the end of the third quarter, bitches.
All right, coming up next, we try to explain to you Jadeveon Clowney, where he is and why he hasn't signed anywhere yet. You are listening to 12-Man Fan Jam Show, where it's self-isolation every episode. Wash your hands! We'll be right back after this.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
If there's a better use for the internet, I haven't found it.
Holy shit, it's the fourth quarter.
Oh, look, it's the final quarter of episode 804, your 12-Man Fan Jam Show, your place for Seahawk fun all the time. Hey, let's look at Jadeveon Clowney's situation. Now, this guy has not signed with anybody. We don't know where he is. We don't know what he's doing. We don't know anything. So we want to figure out where he is. Well, you need look no further, because we here at the Seahawk 12-Man Fan Jam Show have found out exactly where he is, or at least some ideas. So we're going to share our ideas of where we think Jadeveon Clowney is at this very moment. Will, where's Jadeveon Clowney?
Jadeveon Clowney is in quarantine with Salman Rushdie and Carmen Sandiego.
Oh, where in the world are they? We don't know, right? Very
Correct.
Good. Very good. I almost played that as the theme song, but you know what? I didn't. So there you go. Take that.
That's quite all right.
Let's see. Dustin, where is Jadeveon Clowney?
Well, a lot of people don't know this about him. He's actually a very successful method actor.
Oh.
And he's been out practicing for a starring role in his upcoming Where's Waldo movie.
Ah, so he's very good. He's being Waldo. There you go. Drummer's back. Wake up, drummer. All right. Matt, where is Jadeveon Clowney?
Well, I've heard on the grapevine that Clowney was spotted buying state lottery tickets in the tiny town of Hump Tulips, Washington State. Apparently, that's the best chance he has of getting $20 million this year.
Ah, apparently. Very well said. I thought I saw him. I thought I saw him training for hand-to-hand combat against the upcoming murder hornet swarms, which, you know, that would be quite a practice. Will, where's Jadeveon Clowney?
Well, Moses, I heard it through the grapevine that a couple of mad scientists shot him into space and they were forcing him to watch horrible movies with a cadre of robots.
I love you, Will. Yes! Mystery Science Theater 3000, Season 13, coming your way. Jadeveon Clowney. La, la, la. Matt, where is Jadeveon Clowney?
Well, news just he's moved apparently. So news just in: Jadeveon Clowney and Carson Wentz were spotted together playing golf in the small town of Tightwad, Missouri. They were going head to head in a knockout tournament. Apparently,
nice, very good. Well, I just got this in about Jadeveon Clowney. I heard that he was going around the globe trying to find the bastard that started 2020, and kick him in the butt. Matt, did you see anything else on Jadeveon Clowney?
It's just coming on Twitter now. Apparently, last we now know, he was actually in the North Pole trying to claim Santa's sack to make his last year's stats look better.
Well, see, now I heard he was improving his sacking stats as well. Only he was sacking groceries at a local deli. So, we heard that as well. So that's where we think Jadeveon Clowney is. So check those places out, people. If you're looking for Jadeveon Clowney, I guarantee you he's at one of those spots. And secondly, Matt and I have done a little further research on the topic of why hasn't Jadeveon Clowney signed anywhere yet. Matt, why hasn't Jadeveon Clowney signed yet?
Well, I've put the feelers out, and apparently, according to his agent, he's waiting for the right person to come along to thrust $20 million into his hand and give him the opportunity to come first. Oh, here comes Jerry Jones now. What luck.
Well, here's what I heard. I heard he hadn't signed anywhere yet because he's getting advice from Johnny Manziel to have, quote, a 6-pack of ice cold brewskis in your locker room before and after every game. So that's just not going to work out in any contract. Matt, what have you heard? Why hasn't he signed yet?
This is just fresh in. Apparently, he's refusing to sign until he gets what Frank Clark got. So he's now serving 2 days in prison for persistent disorderly conduct and first-degree domestic abuse.
Oh! Wow! Oh, wow.
Below the belt.
Woo! Well, I heard
I'll lower it.
I heard he hadn't signed yet because he couldn't find a pen to sign a contract that hasn't been untouched by unsterilized hands. So I heard that. And Matt, you know what else I heard?
What's that?
I heard he hasn't signed yet because he's waiting for something good to happen in 2020 first.
Take a chair, Jadeveon.
Oh, my God. Well, wherever he is and whatever he's doing, we wish him the best. We'd love to see him in Seattle. Seahawk blue next year, but I don't know. At least I feel that way. Guys, real quick, Dustin, you want to see him in Seahawk blue next year?
I absolutely do. That guy is a monster when he can play when he's out there. So, especially with the amount of money it's going to take to get him at this point, bring him back.
Bring him back, Will. Bring him back.
Hell yeah, we got the complementary pieces to surround him. Now we need the blue chip pass rusher.
Bring him back. Bring him back, Matt.
Meh.
I say yay. I say bring that guy back. All right. Well, and speaking of back, it's time to look back at another episode because it is time to finish yet another wonderful, remarkable 12-man Fan Jam show. We are so glad you joined us. We certainly hope you laughed a little and maybe you learned a little something along the way. What did we learn? Well, we learned that apparently size matters. That was said earlier. I don't know. Kona is a hero. Way to go, Kona.
April is not.
Yeah. Matt loves Jacksonville. And Jacksonville loves us, Matt. You know that. And finally, Aaron Rodgers may participate in Pride. Is what the rumor was by somebody on the staff not named Moses, Dustin, or Will. So, on behalf of my partner in crime, Matt, our newshound Shadowhawk Will, Dustin as the Beaver, Roger Goodell, Mosette, Little Mo, Jose, Tom, Mark, Ty, Turner, Johnny Manziel, Carlos Hyde, Quentin Dunbar, Jadeveon Clowney. This is Moses saying until next time, as always, go Hawks!
Go Hawks!
Go Hawks!
Sarah Colonna, please contact us. We want you on this show.
Oh, I just got a message from Aaron Rodgers. Apparently he's going to Pride.
Oh, wonderful!